The next thing is for us to take some past questions that are related to proportion and rate. Past questions on proportion and rates. Okay, you look at the first question. It says 1979 question 34, as you can see on your screen. 12 men complete a job in 9 days. 12 men, 1979 question 34. It says 12 men complete a job in 9 days. 12 men complete a job in 9 days. How many men working at the same rate would be required to complete the job in 6 days? So if we need them to complete it in 6 days, how many men? That is the question. Recall that I said of proportion that the best way is to calculate the value of 1 unit. In this case, if 12 men will do the job in 9 days, then it means 1 man will do the job in 12 times 9 days. And that is 108 days. So if I wanted this to happen in 6 days, I have to say, okay, 108 days divided by 6 days. Then I'm going to have 6 here, 1, remainder 4, 6 and 48, 8. That's 18 men. Because they are going to be taking a lot lesser time now. For them to use lesser number of days, then the number of men must increase. So that ends that particular question. Moving on to the next question, we have this question that has to do with conversion, more of rate. It says, as you can see on your screen, 22.5% of Nigerian naira, okay? 22.5% of the Nigerian naira equals to 17.1/10%. 17.1/10% of a foreign currency M. So what that means is 22 times, so if I convert this means 45/2n equals to 17 times 10, 170, 171/10m. Now what the question here wants is, what is the conversion rate of M to Naira? So I want to convert M to Naira in such a way that what I want is, I want to make M the subject. So in this case, this means 45n, 10 comes here, times 10, and then 171, I have 2 here, 171 comes here, times 171 equals to M. So that my M equals 45 times 10, that is 450n, 450n divided by 2 times 171, that is 342. When you look at this, how many 342 can you get here? That is one whole number. Okay, this is 342, and then that's 108. So M equals to this. But then, if you look at 108 and 342, 6 can go, so that my M equals to one whole number. 6 here is going to give me 18. 6 here is going to give me 57. So this is my answer. If you look at the option, that is for 1985 question 12. If you look at the options in that question, you'll see option C, M equals to one number 18/57, and that ends that. Moving on, 1987, you can see we have question 5, we have question 8, we have question 11 in a single year. So 1987 question 5. 1987 question 5. A train moves from P to Q at an average speed of 90 km/h. Okay, let this be P, let this be Q. A train moves from P to Q at an average speed of 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, so it had moved from P to Q. That's the first part of the question, and immediately returns from Q to P through the same route at an average speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Okay, returning now. The train returned at an average speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Okay, find the average speed for the entire journey. When you talk about average speed equals total distance divided by total time. If you look at this question very well, that's all we were given, nothing else, no timing, nothing. So we don't have time, we don't have anything. In this case, we cannot use average equals to total distance over total time. All we can do is 90 kilometers per hour plus 45 kilometers per hour, all divided by 2. So this is 135 divided by 2. 135 divided by 2. 135 divided by 2. This is going to be 67.50 kilometers per hour. 67.50 kilometers per hour. So that is what this question 1987 question 5 is going to give us. So moving on, we have another question on, as you can see, we were told that Peter's weekly wage is 20 naira for the first 20 weeks, 36 naira for the next week. Find his average weekly wage for the remaining 8 weeks of the year if his average weekly wage for the whole year is 30 naira. Now, with this average weekly wage for the whole year, this is like 30 times 52, 1,560. So this 1,560 is just about what Peter is going to earn all through the year. But in this case, it says the first 20 weeks, it is at 20 naira per week. So we have 20 weeks, and then we have the last remaining 8 weeks, which is where the real question is. We want to know what this person is going to get in the last remaining 8 weeks. 20 plus 8, that is 28. If we remove 28 from 52, that's going to be 24 weeks we have. So this is the last remaining 8 weeks. So what we basically have here is 20 naira times the first 20 weeks. That gives us 400 naira. Now take a look at it. 36 naira for the next weeks. So this is going to be 36 times 24. Everything should be equal to, we don't know what the wage here will be, but everything should be equal to 1,560. So whatever we have remaining is what is going to be shared into 8 weeks. So this is 400, 36 times 24, 864 plus. So 1,560 minus 400 minus 864, that is 296 naira. That is what is going to be left. So that 296 naira is what is going to be shared into 8 places. So 296 divided by into 8 weeks, that gives us 37 naira. That gives us 37 naira. If you look at the options very well, you'll see that this is option A. This is option A. This is just a case of average and then looking at the rate and all of that. So that answers 1987 question 8. Okay, still on the same 1987 question 11. Okay, still on the same year, 1987 question 11. As you can see on your screen, 4 boys and 10 girls can cut a field in 5 hours. 4 boys and 10 girls can cut a field in 5 hours. Can cut a field in 5 hours. Okay, if the boys work at 5/4 the rate at which the girls work, so boys equals 5/4 the rate at which the girls work. Okay, how many boys will be needed to cut the field in 3 hours? So if we're looking for how many boys, let's say X boys, how many boys can cut this field in 3 hours? Now this is a proper question. You're looking at this, 4 boys can act and 10 girls can actually do this job in 5 hours. So the real deal here is for us to convert the number of girls to boys here. So what this means, this is where the key lies. What this means is the boys work at 5/4 of the rate that the girls work. So what I'm going to do is 4 is going to come here. That's 4 boys equals to 5 girls. That's what it means. So that girls will be equals to 4/5 boys. So the meaning of this is that I am having 10 girls here. So what this means is 4 boys plus 10, because 1 girl here means 4/4 boys. So that's 10 times 4/5 boys will be able to do the job in 5 hours. So 5 here 1, 5 here 2. So 2 times 4, 8. 4 boys plus 8 boys equals, will be able to do the job in 5 hours. So that's 12 boys in 5 hours. So what the question is asking us is how many boys will be able to do this job in 3 hours. Now this is how to go about it. If 12 boys will get this done in 5 hours, if 1 boy is to do this, 1 boy can get this done in 12 times 5 hours. That is 60 hours. So if I want them to use not 60 hours but 3 hours, that is going to be, number of boys is going to be 60 hours divided by 3 hours. So that is going to be 20 boys is exactly what we are going to need to be able to get this job done in 3 hours. So you can see that in the option. Question 11 is option D. That is the answer. That is option D. That is talking about proportion here. So that ends 1987 question 11. You can see question 5, question 8, question 11. So when we say number and numeration in mathematics, talking about the topics, it is something you take serious. Okay, moving on. The next question is 1991 question 14. You can see there a car travels from Calabar to Enugu at the Calabar to Enugu, a distance of p kilometers. So it means the distance from here to here is actually p kilometers with an average speed of u kilometers. So it means the speed here is u kilometers per hour. So it had moved this way, okay, and continues to Benin. So from here it continues to Benin. It continues to Benin, which is a distance of q kilometers with an average speed of w kilometer per hour. With an average speed of w kilometers per hour. Okay. Now what they want is find the average speed from Calabar to Benin. Average speed, Calabar to Benin. Average speed is actually total distance over total time. In this case, this is a distance here, this is a distance here, so we talk of P plus Q kilometer. But looking at time, we need to know the timing for this part of the journey, and time is actually distance over speed. The distance here is P over U. That's what we're going to have in hours here. P over U hours. When we come here, the timing is distance. The distance is Q. Timing is distance Q divided by W, which is the speed in hours. So that when I am writing this, what this will mean is P over U plus Q over W. So if I look at the options that I have there, not looking like it, so this is what I need to solve. This is in hours, so P plus Q divided by, in kilometers, divided by, what is the LCM of U and W? U W. U in UW, that's W, that's W times P W. W in UW, that's going to give you U times Q, that's going to give you Q U. This is in hours, don't forget. So what this means is that UW is going to move up. You know, this is divided by this, so we're going to have UW into brackets P plus Q divided by P W plus Q U kilometers per hours. This is the average speed. If you look at the option there, you have UW, P plus Q, and then you have WP, and then you have UQ. The correct answer here is option C. So that is how it works, talking about average distance, and that ends 1991 question 14. Okay, moving on, we have another question here, 1998 question 7. A man is paid R naira per hour for normal work. Okay, normal work, this is R naira per hour, so that is R naira in 1 hour. Okay, and double rate for overtime, so overtime is going to be 2 hours per hour. Okay, if he does 35-hour week, which includes Q hours of overtime, so this person had done 35 hours this week, and this 35 hours includes Q hours of overtime, Q hours over time. So it means that the normal work hour is going to be 35 minus Q hours, and the overtime is going to be Q hours. So when we look at what the wage will be, is 35 minus Q times R, and what the wage will be here is going to be Q times R. So what you have here is 35 times R, that's 35R minus QR. Now take note that the pay here, 35 minus Q times R, the pay here, someone is working, this is not going to be QR. Q hours is the overtime, so overtime is paid at 2 hours. This is going to be 2 hours, so Q times 2 hours, this is going to be 2 QR. So this is for the normal timing, and this is for the overtime. If we take this and this together, this is going to be 35R plus QR minus QR plus 2QR. That is going to give you 1QR. So what is common to this and this? 35 plus QR. So this is what the hourly, this is what the pay will be for that week. What is the weekly earning in naira? So this is R 35 plus Q, and that is option that is option A. That is option A. So quite direct. That is option A. So we move on to the next thing. The last question is 2005 question 15. As you can see on your screen, it says the time taken to do a piece of work is inversely proportional to the number of men employed. Well, we can leave that for now. If it takes 30 men to do a piece of work in 6 days, 30 men, 6 days to do a piece of work. How many men are required to do the work in 4 days? How many men are required to do this work in 4 days? That's the question, and this is easy. If 30 men will take 6 days, then one man will take 30 times 6 days, and that is 180 days. So if I want this work completed in 4 days, the number of men here is going to be 180 days divided by 4 days. Days cancels days. 180 divided by 4, that is going to be 45 men. That is going to be 45 men. If you look at the option there, you have 45. That is option C. And with that, we've come to the end of this lecture on proportion, rate, ratio, and the likes. Do not forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and as well share with your friends. They'll be glad you did that for them. For myself and the entire team here, it's bye for now.